Okay guys, so pocket sized sharpening stones. What we have here are three different pocket stones. For my money, the main ones on the market, the ones that everybody knows, especially the DC4 here, full Niven DC4, okay? Obviously what's missing are the DMT, any kind of DMT stones or anything like that, but this is what I have, this is what I'm working with, and I'm working with the stones here. So what we've got here, we've got the DC4 as mentioned, and we have a Spyderco double stuff, which is a double-sided stone. And then on the right here we have an Arkansas soft stone. Now what I'm looking for here, the premise of this is to find a stone that will do what you want it to do while you're out in the field, sort of a dual pocket stone. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get rid of the Arkansas soft stone. Reason being is that as a honing stone, it might be a very good stone. It's been listed at around 1,000 grit, which is good for your honing and usually pretty good for a little bit of stock removal, but I don't find it to cut too aggressively and it loads pretty quick. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of that, pop that to the side a little bit. Okay, so now we're just left with these two stones here, full Niven and the Spyderco. Now before I go into the Spyderco, I want to say a little bit about the full Nivens. Now the DC4 it's an iconic stone, it really is, and it's got quite a fan base, and not always justified, I have to say, because the DC4 has been plagued with problems. Years ago it used to be that now these are you're advised not to use these wet as a wet stone according to full Niven. Now there's a wonder to that. I'm not entirely sure why that should be. A little bit of lube is always nice. A little bit of water, a little bit of oil is always nice on a stone. I can only think that it's because, like I say, a few years ago, the diamond side used to separate quite easily from the ceramic side. I'm going to call it ceramic for ease of use, but it is actually synthetic sapphires, and the diamond side would separate from the ceramic side. As far as I know, that's been fixed now. They're using a different adhesive. It's more of a sort of dense, tacky foam, which sticks the plate superbly to the stone. So I don't think that's an issue anymore. So personally, I think if you want to use it with lube, I think you can probably go ahead and do that. Now, another issue with the old stones was, let me show you this. You see those marks there, the machining marks, down to pure like poor quality control. Now there are people that will say that that's what makes it such a great performer, is those marks there. Don't listen to them. That's ludicrous, because any stone that makes this noise when you're running a blade across it is not going to be optimum for your edge. And judging by the fact that these days they come without those machining marks, I can only assume that they decided it was poor and to get rid of it. And so that's a problem with the old stones. Now, like I say, they seem to have addressed these issues now. The stone itself is much better quality, and the adhesive is much better quality too. Now I've bought a brand new one here just to show you this. Now another problem with the DC4s is that the diamond side, now if we look under there we can see the gap. That's the better adhesive. The diamond side wears very, very quickly and basically gives up the ghost only after a few passes. Okay, so again, not ideal. Now the thing is with these stones is they are an absolutely superb size for sharpening. This is a good stone, but it's a little too long, definitely if you have smaller hands, and it's a little more awkward to hold. Now I've seen some people sharpen it by holding it like that in their hands. I wouldn't personally do that. You got quite a big vein running through your thumb there. You slice that open, and yeah, you got claret everywhere. Plus your fingertips are exposed on the top there. The way I personally hold it is like that. Very little fingertips showing, very little thumb showing. So if you do nick yourself, it's only going to be a slight nick. Okay, I wouldn't recommend holding it like that at all. But let me show you these in. Now, the grit rating on this is 25 micron, around 800 grit. And the grit side on this is it's hard to determine because Full Niven don't actually list it, and actually trying to find any definitive information on this is very hard. And I've seen it quoted from between 600 to 3000 grit. So you can see what we're dealing with here. But if I was to feel that, I would say that's probably around, compared to that which is 800, that's probably around 800 to 1000. But it cuts very, very aggressively, and it tears up your blade, to be quite honest with you. Now, Full Niven do state that when you get the new stone, it requires a breaking period. It's very coarse when you start, and the coarseness will disappear when the tool is put to use. Now, that's not ideal to me, because how many blades have got to take that kind of hit? I mean, you can just hear how aggressive that is. How many blades have got to take that kind of hit before the stone starts performing as it's supposed to? That's my issue with the Full Niven stone. Now, we're going to go to Spyderco Stone here. This is an excellent stone. It really is. The brown side of it is quoted at around 15 micron, around 1100 grit, and the fine side of it is around 6 micron, around 3000 grit. Now, it is a good stone. Again, the size could be an issue if you are holding it in your hand, but it does cut very aggressively. And even though the stone itself loads fairly easily, it does still cut aggressively, a lot more aggressively than the Arkansas stone. So it is an excellent stone. Obviously, you use that to refine your bevel, and then you use the fine side for your final honing. And provided that your knife hasn't got any damage to it, any small chips, or as long as you keep topping up your knife, then this will do you well. This will serve you very, very well as a stone. But again, it's not aggressive enough for any kind of stock removal. Should you put a chip in the knife, or if you leave it too long between sharpenings. Now, so basically between this and this, we've got super coarse until it's broken in, and then we've got a finer stone, which is good for your honing, but no good for stock removal. So the ideal situation really would be to carry one of each, as far as stock removal and then refining your edge is concerned. But of course, carrying two it goes against the principle of this particular video. So what do we do about that? Well, this is what I've done to the DC-04. Up until this hack, this stone, I would have preferred this stone over the DC-04, purely because it's an aggressive stone, and it was too aggressive for the purposes that I wanted. I mean, stock removal is one thing, but unless you can get a nice refined edge, you're basically just grinding away good metal. So up until that point, the Spyderco double stuff was my favourite stone, as long as the blade was touched up on a fairly regular basis. Okay, so let me show you what we got going on here. Basically, it's a DC-4 with the coarse side and the diamond side removed. And then what I've done is I've dressed one side of it using the diamond side that I've removed from the stone. So now what we've got is we've got a good side for chip removal, slight stock removal, and then we've got a much finer side for refining the edge, which again still cuts very aggressively, but still gives an excellent edge. Which I would estimate the grit on par with the brown side of this, so around 1100. Finer than the Arkansas stone, but cuts more aggressively than the Arkansas stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a vid after this, detailing exactly how I did that. So it's a standalone vid, be a DC4 hack, look out for it, and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing to a brand new DC4 to turn it into, for my money, the best sharpening stone, best pocket stone sharpening stone that I've found so far. So, in summary, this is the best stone. This, not so good. Good for honing, not so good for reprofiling. This again is a good stone, and if it's all you got, not so bad. Just make sure that you top up your knife regularly. But if you do have a DC4, then check the next vid and I'll show you exactly how to make that work. Thanks for coming along, guys. Keep them sharp.